Hello, everyone. Today, we will show you how to run Bing website for searching keywords, and saving the results with BotChief. Now, we will click Open button to open the software which was created before. Here are two modules and a custom window below Bing node. The function of Bing search is to scrape the specified page. The function of page sum is to scrape how many pages about this keyword are there. Now, I will show you how to run this software. Right-click Main Form node, and then select Debug. Here are two parameters needed to set. One is search keywords, the other is file save path. Now, we will put BotChief as an example. Input BotChief and search keywords. Here we will save the search results under ddisks1.csv file. Here, we can see that there is no one CSV file in ddisk now. Then, click Start button. Now, it will run this software automatically, and get how many pages are there for this keyword. See, it got 10 pages for the keyword BotChief automatically. When the program scrapes all the pages completely, it will run the searching results module automatically. Now, it is scraping the first page. After finish the first page, it will put the result in the searching results module automatically. Then start to scrape the second page. Because of the limitation of time, we will click End button to end this operation. Here is the first page result. We will check whether it is saved or not. Open the ddisk, find one .csv file that we chosen to save before. Open it. If the content from one CSV file is the same as the content from this result page, it indicates run successfully. Now, let's start to create the Bing search module. Open BotChief editor, and click New Project. Input Bing, then click OK. Select Web Operation Module node, then right-click, select Add Module. Input Bing search, and then click OK. Now, we will add some variables for this module. Select Add New Variable button. Then input keyword. Here, we need to select this option. When we run this module, it will put the variable B back here. Then click Add button. Here, we will add another variable for this module. Then, input page. Here, we still need to select this option, then click Add button. Now, we will need to add a table variable to save the page running result. Here, select Table. Then input Table. Here, we need to select this option. In the column quote option, we can choose how many columns we need. Here, we need 3 columns, they are title, introduction, and link. Select column 1, input text. Then, select column 2, input intro. Then, select column 3, input ref. Click Add. Now, we need to add an alphabetic string variable. Input URL, here is no need to set the option, so click Add. All of the variables we needed have been set successfully. Now, we will show you how to splice URL address to jump page. Open a browser. Input bing.com. Here we will put BotChief as an example. Input BotChief. Click Search. Here is the search result. Here, we will jump to the second page directly. Copy the URL site, and paste it in Notepad. Here, we only need this part q equals BotChief and first equals 11, so we will delete the rest. Here, we will make an explanation for how to get first. First is the current pages. Here is the second page's URL site. Here is a formula, page -1 multiplied by 10 plus 1 equals first. By using this formula, if we want to get the fifth page, then first will be 41. Now, we will use first equals 41 to replace first equals 11. Then visit this URL. And check whether we will get the fifth page. Q equals BotChief is the search keyword, but URL is the specific encoding format. So if we want to use Q equals BotChief, we need to transcode it. Now, go back to the main page of BotChief, select Bing Search Node, select Add Action, and then find Others, select Run JavaScript Code. We can make same function only using BotChief action without JS code, but here I will just use JS. We will introduce the BotChief action to do same work in other videos. Here, I will copy the former JS code directly that was written by us before. Then paste it here. Here, you need to input the name about how to run JS. Here, click Add button to input the variable value. Here, we will check keyword as the variable value, then click Add. Here, select Save Result check keyword, and then click Save. Now, it has been transcoded successfully. Select Bing Search Node, select Add Action, find Others, select Run JavaScript Code. Here, I will copy the former JS code directly that was written by us before. Then paste it here. Change the name about how to run the JS. Click Add button to add the first value. Here, fill in the search side of Bing. Click Add button. Then click Add button to add the second value. Input QN parameter value, then click Add. Then click Add button to add the third value. Select Use Variable, and then select a keyword, click Add. Here, you need to check Save Result then, save it in URL, click Save. There, we need to calculate the value of first. So select Add Action, find Others, select Run JavaScript Code. Here, I will copy the former JS code directly that was written by us before. Change the name about how to run this JS. Click Add to add a value for it. Check Use Variable, and then select Page, then click Add. Select Save Result, then select Page to save it, click Save. Here, we can get the value of page, through this formula. Here, we will add the value of the first. Because this operation is just like the second operation. So select the second operation, click Copy button. Then select the third operation, click Paste button. Here, we need to change the variable. Select the first variable, click Edit button. Select Use Variable, and then select URL, click Save. Then edit the second variable. Select it, and then click Edit. Input first here, then click Save. Then the third variable. Click Edit button. Select Use Variable, select Page, then click Save. Here, click Save button to save it. Now, the URL address is finished. Here, we will add a load URL for it. Here, we will visit this URL, and check whether it is right or not. Now, we will debug it to see whether it is right or not. For the first variable, here, we will input botchief as an example. Then click Add button. Select the second variable, input 3 as an example, then click Add button. After set all the variables, click Save Settings and Run button. Here, we can see that the pages have been loaded out. And it is the page that we set in the variables. Now, we are going to right-click Bing Search to add a scrape action, and it is to scrape the content of the page for this module. Here, select Advanced Scrape. And then check Scrape Some Text option. Save it to Table. Here we are going to scrape the text at first. Click Select Control to get the first label. Here, check the Scrape Similar Controls, and then select All. Select Interim to get the result. Now it has got the outermost layer. Select 2 to search the second level. Click Select Control to get the H2 label. And select 3 to search the third level label. And then click Save. Now we are going to scrape the ref. Get the first label like we done before. Here, check the Scrape Similar Controls, and then select All. Here, select F to get the result, and we need to check the Remove HTML tag. Select 2 to search the second level. Click Select Control to get the H2 label. And select 3 to search the third level or label. After set all, click Test to see whether it has got the result. Here, the result has been shown, so click Save. Now, we are going to scrape the intro. Get the first label like we done before. Here, check the scrape similar controls, and then select all. Here, select Enter to get the result, and we need to check the Remove HTML tag. And then select 2 to search the second level. Click Select Control to get the P label. After Set All, click Test to see whether it has got the result. Here, the result has been shown, so click Save. So, we have scraped all the page content, and saved it to table successfully. Now, right-click Bing Search to add an action, and it is to end the module. Here check Good End, and select Table to put the return variable to it. After Set All, click Save. However, there is another problem that we need to care about. If there is no result about the keyword, so here we need to add a function to have a hint for the error. Here, right-click Scraper to add a page load wait action, and it is to search the Leo label. So, here right-click Page Load Wait Now to add a try-catch action, and it is to capture this error. Drag the Page Load Wait action to try. If it does not search at the label within 60 seconds, it will give a hint for the error automatically, and then run the catch action. So, here right-click Catch Node to add an action, and it is to end the module. Here, check Good End, and select Table to put the return variable to it. Now, this module has been finished, so let's have a test. Before we end the running, here right-click in Node to add a Show Variable action, and it is to show whether the result is right. Here, select Table, and then click Save. Now, click Run Module to have a test. Select Run Module in New Window to run it. Here, like before, we will jump to the third page directly, and then click Save Settings and Run. Now, this module will scrape the content automatically. Here, we have got the result we needed, and we can have a comparison with the searching interface. The result is the same, and it indicates that the module we created is successful. So here we can delete the show variable action that we do not need. Next, we will go on to create another module. Here, right-click Web Operation Module to create a new module. Input page sum. And then click OK. Now, click Variable Manager to set variables for this module. Input the first variable name keyword. And then click Add. Now, add the second variable. Select Double in Value Type. Input the variable name page int. Select Store Variable option. And then click Add. Now, add a variable of string type. Input the variable name page str. Select Store Variable option. And then click Add. Now, set a default value for the two page variables, and the value of them is 1, and then click OK. Now, add a URL variable. Input the variable name URL. Select Store Variable option. After Set All, click Add. Now, The common variables have been finished. If we also need other variables, we will add it later. This module is the same as the first few steps we have just done, so we will copy the previous steps directly. Right-click Page Sum, select Run JavaScript Code Action. Copy this. And then paste it here. Here, modify the name of JS, we name it transcoding. Click Add button to transcode the keyword. Here, check Use Variable, select Keyword, and then click Add. Select Save Result to save the transcoded value to keyword. Click Save. Here, copy the first module's second operation to this module directly. Do the same operation for the third action. But, here we need to edit the page variable. Click Edit button to select Page SDR. And then click Save. Now, click Variable Manager to add a variable to save the result for this module. Input the variable name first value. Select Store Variable option, and then click Add. Here, select Save Result to save the result in the variable first value. Click Save. Now, copy the first module's fourth steps to here. Here, we need to edit the page variable. Click Edit button to change it to first value variable. And then click Save. Now, copy the first module's load URL operation to here. And then click Save. Now, let's run the module. Click Debug and Run, and the select Run module in current window. Input bot chief as an example. Click Add. And then click Save Settings and Run. Here, the result has been searched out. Now, add a try catch for this module. We will copy the first modules directly. Here, we will go to the next operation. Click Find Page Control to get the page number. Click Find HTML item button to check whether it is searched. Here, the green shows it has been searched out. And then click Save. If the search result only has one page, the other pages will not be shown here, and it will get an error hint. Then the operation will go to the catch action automatically. So, here select Page STR to put the variable back, and then click Save. Now, right-click Try Catch Node to add a scraper action for this module. Here, select Advanced Scrape to scrape the current page. Click Variable Manager button to add a variable to save the scraping result. Input the name current page. And then click Add. Here, select the variable we added just now. Click Select Control to get the current page. Here, select inner HTML to get the inner HTML of it. Then select remove HTML tag, and then click test to get the result. Here, we have got the current page 1, and then click save. Now, right-click Scraper Node to add a if action. Judge whether the value of the current page variable is equal to the page str variable. Click Save. Right-click False Node to add an action. Here, check Good End, and then select Current Page to put it back. Now, right-click Page Sum to add a variable operate action. Here, select Page Int. Select Plus in Processing Way. Select Page Int in value 1, and 10 in value 2. And then click Save. Now, right-click Page Sum to add a variable operate action. Here, select Page Int, and then select Double to String to transform it. In Save To option, select Page str to save it, and then click Save. Now, add a goto action to jump to the third operation, and then loop the operation in turn, so we can get the last page's result. Here, input 3, and then click Save. Right-click in Node to add a Show Variable action to show the result. Here, select Current Page, and then click Save. Now, let's debug it. We select Run Module in New Window to test it. Here, no need to set, so click Save Settings and Run. Now, the first page has been shown. We have added 10 pages before, so the result must be 11 pages. Now, jump to the 8th page, and shows there are only 8 pages in this module. It is successful, so click Close button to end. Now, we will show you how to create the custom interface. Now, right-click Forms to add a form. Input the form name Main Form. And then click OK. Then, right-click it to edit the interface of it. Here, we need to rename it. Here, input Bing in text. Now, drag some control to this form. Include 2 text boxes, 2 buttons, a data grid view, and a text box for hint. Now, adjust their position. After finish it, and then modify the text attribute of these controls. Name label 1 to search keyword. Name label 2 to file save path. Name button 1 to start. And info button 2. And null for label 3. Here, we will name these control. Changing these controls names are to be convenient to get the value from backstage. Click the control, here, input keyword. Click the file save path control, here, input file path. Click start control to name it start. And click end control to name it end. The null control names it to prompt. After set all control, click save button to save them. Here, right-click main form to add a function. Input the name of it main. Then, right-click it, select Operate text box action to get the value on the interface. Now, we will get the first value file path. Here, select File Path and select Control. Select Get Text and select Function. Here click Variable Management button to create a new variable to save it. In this pop-up form, select Main Form Global Variable, and then click Add New Variable. Input the variable name file path, and then click Add. Here, select the variable file path we added just now, and then click Save. Now, right-click main node to add an if action to judge whether the value of file path is null. Here, select the variable file path we added just now, select null and choose Determine Ways. And then click Save. If it is null, then set a default value for it. Here, right-click True to select Variable Operate action. Select the variable file path we added just now. Select Appends the string in processing way. Here, add a string, and name it result.csv. And then click Save. Now, add a variable operate action to get the keyword results. Here, select the variable keyword, select Get Text to get the value imputed from users. Here, click Variable Management to create a variable to save the results. In the pop-up form, select Main Form Global Variable. Click Add New Variable. Input the variable name keyword. And then click Add. Select the variable keyword we added just now, and then click Save. Now, add an if action to judge whether the value of keyword is null. Here, select the variable keyword, select null, and then click Save. If the value is null, here we will add a message box action to give a hint to the users. And the content is keyword cannot be empty, then click Save. After set all the variables, we are able to get the interface value imputed from users. Now, right-click main form to select Edit, and the Put the Main Ways to Start button. When we click it, it will run it automatically. Select Start button. And then click Set. Input the name main, and then click OK. Then click Save. Now, all the variables that we needed have been set. Let's debug it. Right-click main form, and then click Debug. Click Start button. The pop-up form proves that the main way has been implemented. Now, right-click False No to add an Operate label action to modify the hint text on the interface. Here, select Prompt in Select Control. Select Set Text in Select Function. Here, input the sentence searching, "Please wait," in text box, and then click Save. Now, add an Operate button action to disable the Start button. After Set All, click Save. Then add an Operate button action to enable the End button. After Set All, click Save. Here, right-click False No to add a Run Web Submit module action to run our second module. Select Page Sum module to get the search keyword and how many pages are the results. Click Set Initialize Variables button to assign the keyword. After finish it, click Finish. Now, here are two variables needed to add. The first variable is to save the module in the operation, and DG to end this module later. The second variable is to save the result of the module operation. Now, click Variable Management button to add the first variable. In the pop-up form, select Main Form Global Variables and then click Add New Variable. Input the variable name Page Sum module. And then click Add. Now, add the second variable. Here, the value type of it must be table. Input the variable name Page Sum table. Input 1 in column count. Select column 1 and name it page. And then click Modify the column names of selected columns. After Set All, click Add button. Here, select the variable Page Sum module we added just now. Select Page Sum table to save the result and then click Save. Now, right-click False No to add a variable Operate action. It is to take the variable value out of the table. Here, click Variable Management button to add a variable. Input the variable name Page Sum str, and then click Add. Here, select the Page Sum table we got just now. Select Get Values from Table in Processing Wait to get the value. Click Set button, select the variable Page Sum str we added just now, and then click OK. After Set All, click Save button. Now, we still need to add a variable to convert these values to double type. Right-click Main Node, select Current Function Variable Manager. Here, input the variable name Page Sum int. Select Double in Value Type, and then click Save. Now, right-click False No to add a variable Operate action to convert. Select Page Sum str we added just now. Select String to double in processing way. Select Page Sum to save it and then click Save. when we know how many pages of search keywords. Here, right-click Main Form module to add a new function. Input the new function's name search, and then click OK. Note, it is to run our first module, and scrape the content of each page. Now, right-click it, select Current Function Variable Manager action to add a new variable for it. Input the variable name page index. Select Double in Value Type, and then click Add. Here, right-click Search Node to add a if action. Select Page Index to judge whether it is not less than page sum int. And then click Save. If the result is greater than page sum int, it proves that the content has been scraped completely. So here right-click False Node to add an Operate Label action to change the hint text. Here, select Prompt in Select Control. Select Set Text, input Search End, and then click Save. Now, right-click to add an Operate button action. Here, select Start to enable, and then click Save button. Then, add an Operate button action. Select End to disable and then click Save button. Because there is no end action, so we will right-click Search to add a sleep action to end. You also can add a go to action to jump to the second step directly, and then end it. If the result is not less than page sum int, it will do the following action continually. Now, right-click Search Node to select Current Function Variable Manager, and then create a variable. Input the variable name Current Page, and then click Add. Now, right-click Sleep Node to add a variable Operate action. Note, it is to convert page index variable to string type, and then save it in Current Page. After Set All, click Save button. Now, right-click Sleep Node to add a Run Web Submit module action. Note, it is to run the first module and scrape the content. Here, select Bing Search Module, click Set Initialize Variables button to set the two variables. Select Keyword to assign the keyword value. Select Current Page to assign the page value. After Set All, click Finish button. Here, we still need add two variables to save the running object. One is to save the running result, the other is to save the module. Click Variable Management button. Input the variable name result table. Select Table in Value Type. Here are three columns. Select Column 1, and name it Text. Select Column 2 and name it Intro. Select Column 3 and name it Ref. Then click Add. Now, add the second variable. Input the variable name Bing Search Module, and then click Add. Here, we also need to add a table type variable to display it on the interface. Select Main Form Global Variables to add the variable. Select Table and Value Type. Input the variable name Save Result. Here are 3 columns, like before we added. Here, select the variable Bing Search module we added just now. Select Result Table to save it, and then click Save. After the module runs out, right-click Sleep Node to add a variable operate action. Here, add one in the page index variable. After Set All, click Save button. Now, right-click Sleep Node to add an if action. It is to judge whether the result table is null. After Set All, click Save button. If the result table is not null, we will put the result in a file. Now, right-click Search, select Current Function Variable Manager to add some variables for it. Input the variable named text, and then click Add. Then add a string type value, input the variable name intro, and then click Add. Next, also add a string type value. Input the variable name ref, and then click Add. Now, right-click False Node to add a variable operate action. It is to get the value from result table variable. Here, click Set button to set 3 variables we added just now one by one. After we got the value, we need to select Remove Row to remove the value, and it is to avoid value duplication. After we got the value from the table, now right-click Variable Operate to add a Run JavaScript code action. It is to splice the value we added just now. Here, I will copy the JS code written before to here directly. Name it Mergent Data, and then click Add button to assign the 3 values we got just now. After Set All, click Save. Here, we need to add a variable to save the spliced strings. Right-click Search, select Current Function Variable Manager to add a variable. Input the variable name data, and then click Add. Here, select data variable we added just now to save the result, and then click Save. Now, right-click False Node to add a write file action. Here, select Trap and append in how to write the content. The file content is to select data we added just now. Select File Path and Path, and then click Save. So we have added a row of data to the file. Now, we need to show the data to the interface. so right-click false note to add a variable operate. It is to add the data to the save result variable. Here, select hydro and processing way. Click Set button to add these variables we added just now. After Set All, and then click Save button. Now, we have saved a row of data. Here, right-click false note to add a goto action. And then let it jump to the 7th step and loop it continually. When there is no data in the table, and then right-click sleep note to add an operate data grot view action. It is to show the data on the interface. After Set All, click Save button. Now, right-click sleep note to select Run function action. It is to run the search method. Here, select Search and select Function and then click Save. Now, we will call the search method in main method. Right-click Variable Operate note to select Run function action. Here, select Search, and then click Save. Before running the search method, here are two variables needed to be initialized. One is to set the save result variable to null, the other is to set the page index variable to 1. Right-click Run function, and then select Variable Operate. Here, select Save result. Select Empty Table in Processing Way, and then click Save. Now, initialize the second variable. Here, select Page Index. Input 1 and value. And then click Save. Now, all the variables in this field have been set. Let's debug it. Right-click Main Form, and then select Debug Action. Input bot chief as an example. Save the file in ddisk2.csv file. Here, there is no 2.csv file in ddisk. After Set All, click Start button to run it. Here, we can see that it starts to run the second module to get the total number of search result. After finish the second module, it will immediately go to run the first template to grab the content of the page. Now, it has put the first page content to the interface. Since we do not add the end action to end it automatically, so we will click End button to end it. Now, let's check the results. Here the result has been saved in the ddisk2.csv file. Now, we will add an end action to end it automatically. Right-click Main Form, and select Add Function. Input the new function name end, and then click OK. Before adding this action, we need to add a variable on this form. Right-click Main Form, and select Current Form Variable Manager to add a variable. Input the variable name if and. Select Double in Value Type, and then click Add. This variable is to judge whether the user has clicked the In button. Here right-click Main to add a variable operate action before running main. It is to set a default value 1 for the if-in variable. After Set All, click Save button. Note, 1 indicates that user does not click In button. Then, right-click in Node to add a variable operate action. It is to set the default value 0 for the if-in variable. After Set All, click Save button. Note, 0 indicates that user has clicked the In button. Now, right-click Variable Operate to add an operate label. It is to modify the hint text on the interface. Here, select Prompt and select Control. Select Set Text, input the sentence in the box Search End, and then click Save. Now, right-click in Node to add a Stop Web Submit module action. It is to end the module automatically. Here, select the first module Page Sum module, and then click Save. Now, here add a same variable to end the first variable. Because of the previous mistakes, the Bing search module variable is set to the search method, so we cannot get the Bing search module variable in the end method. Right-click Search to select Current Function Variable Manager. Here, click Main Form Global Variable to add a new variable for it. Input the variable name Bing module. And then click Save. Now, click Run Web Submit module, to change it to the new variable we added just now. After Set All, click Save. Now, click Stop Web Submit module node. Select the module we added just now, and then click Save. After the module is over, right-click in Node to select Operate button action. It is to change the state of the button. Select Hint to disable and then click Save. Right-click in Node to add an Operate button action. Select Start to enable and then click Save. Now, the In method has been finished. Here, we need to modify the search method. Right-click If Node to add a If action. It is to judge whether the if-in variable is 1. If so, it will continue to do the next operation automatically. After Set All, click Save. If not, right-click False Node to add a GoTo action. It is to jump to the second step to end this method. After set all, click Save. Now, the end method in search has been finished. Now, right-click main form to select Edit Action. It is to bind the end method to the end button. Click End button, and then click Set button. After set all, click Save. Now, right-click main form to add an add function action. It is to add a form load method for the module. Input the name form load. And then click Save. Right-click form load node to add an operate button. It is to disable the end button. After set all, click Save. Then do the same operation to enable the Start button. Now, right-click main form to select Edit to set the interface. Add the form load method we added just now. And then click Save. Now, let's debug it. Input the keyword botchief. Put the result in ddisk2.scv file. Delete the previous file. After set all, click Start button. Now, it starts to run. Then click End button to judge whether it ends normally. We click the End button to end this operation before it scraped something, so there is no data in this interface. That is all, thanks for watching.